What's going on, everybody? It's Boy Lord Suka, and I played the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and my experience and what I think about it, and maybe we can come together and share some common themes and what you guys thought about it as well. So, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta, from what I gather, I've played it a decent amount, probably about 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, and I'll show a little bit of that while I'm talking. Overall, just before I even really dive into it, I actually like the game, and I'm not a huge supporter or I pretty much just hated Call of Duty since like Modern Warfare 2. After that came out and just how that started to feel, especially the multiplayer. Now, hold on, let me pause. The campaign in Modern Warfare 2 and 3 were great. Just the multiplayer was not my cup of tea. But that's what gives Call of Duty its longevity, is the multiplayer, right? So that's kind of what I'm really focusing on, is the multiplayer. Obviously, the beta only allows you to play multiplayer, and so Call of Duty gives you a couple game modes that you can mess with. And there's one of them I want to talk about right off the bat. It's called Ground War. So it's a 32 versus 32 conquest style game mode. Basically, you'll have, each team has their respective spawn points. And the idea is to capture these flags throughout a map. So the map is definitely a lot bigger than most Call of Duty maps that you can remember. And it's a really interesting play style. It changes the way you play Call of Duty for sure. You're not running out in the open. You're not just dipping around corners. It's a lot different. There are also some like light armored vehicles that you do have control over. They do have weapons. I'm not really I use the LAVs and whatnot a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of how they, maneuver. Maybe that's, by design. I'm not sure, but they definitely can be abused in Call of Duty. If you sit at somebody's spawn with one of those, it's going to be really annoying. I don't think they're overpowered, but to infantry who might not have something to actually counteract it, those infantry are going to get destroyed. But to be fair, in any game like Battlefield, Arma, Squad, all those type of games, infantry that are out in the open or with light cover and nothing really to fight back with, they're going to get destroyed really, really quick. So it's hard to even really compare. But that being said, let's go ahead and move on. Ground War did not run very well for me. I don't know if that's maybe just my PC or what, to be honest. I'm hoping that it's just because it's, a big map, a lot of players that, Call of Duty has never really seen, and it's something new to them, and they're working out the kinks. That's what I'd like to hope. I don't know, one way or the other. I'm really curious to see how that plays out, because that mixes the best things about Battlefield and the best things about Call of Duty into one, and it really is a fun game mode. Now, they could take the vehicles out, and I would still like it just as much. I don't think the vehicles ruin it, though, to be honest. At least the one map that I played on, the vehicles really only punished you if you were outside too long. There was a lot of inside areas. It was actually, I forget the name of the map, but it was basically like a big industrial area, and it did have like a cliffside. Now I kept seeing the vehicles go on the cliffside and kind of just rain down fire on the people who just happen to get caught outside, which that is what it is, right? But it didn't seem too bad. Now if they're sitting shooting into a spawn, alright, well, that's kind of frustrating. So I'm really curious to see how that progresses. Now, the rest of the game, I definitely want to talk about two things off the bat that I don't know if is like again, if it's just because it's beta or if it's something serious. So anyway, moving on, the M14 EBR. If you have used that weapon and you get shot, the flinch that you receive after being shot seems to be like massive, and I mean, it's so bad that you're like, while you're trying to acquire your target and pull the trigger and all that, if you hit your first shot, and say you shoot them first, you hit your first shot center mass, and you go for that second shot, and say they have like an SMG or something that shoots way faster than you, right? They're gonna at least get one shot off. Okay, if they hit you once, right, your gun is like, it's like your next shot is gonna be like 3 feet above them. The flinch is so incredibly like strong with that gun, and I compared it to the flinch with the M4, and I really didn't get the same kind of flinch at all. I mean, the M4, you literally can just stay on the target the whole time, and it's not a big deal. I don't know why that is, or if that's meant to be that way, but I would really hope that they can at least dull it down. And I understand to a certain or to a certain degree that the M14 EBR is like a 2-shot body shot kill, so it's a strong weapon, and 1-shot headshot. So I agree, it definitely can be abused and it be considered overpowered in some cases, but at the same time, I mean, you can't give it such a handicap that it's not usable. So there's that issue. And when you spawn in, at least for me, when I spawn in, as soon as it goes to the top down view and then it kind of like zooms in, then bam, you're spawned in. That whole progression there, it for me, I get massive frame drops and just stutter. Not sure why that is. Could be, maybe it's just my PC. I don't know. I'd really love to get some feedback from you guys to see if that is just a me thing. Either way, feedback or not, I'm definitely going to restart my PC and probably play again tomorrow and see if there's any change. Now, I was playing with my brother earlier, and he was having that same issue as well. We didn't play Ground War to verify that kind of issue, but definitely had the spawning in thing. Not sure what that's about. Hopefully it's something that can be fixed. Besides that, just how the game plays overall in the regular modes, not the Ground War. It's still Call of Duty, so it's a lot of run and gun, a lot of close quarters combat, and it's really nice to see that they've put a lot of effort into the small things that you think don't matter, but they kind of do. So it looks really good. Okay, it's hard to judge any game by graphics nowadays because some of the best games out there have the worst graphics. But this game has some really nice visuals. The sound, too. I definitely want to go over the sound. The guns sound really nice. Don't know if they're super accurate as, gun sounds go, but sounds really nice when you're shooting them. And, the reload sounds, the reload animations, actually all the animations, for that matter. So throwing flash grenades or, any kind of secondary grenade. Those are just the best. When you're trying to, clear a room, you can just flip one out. It's so fast, and it's that easy to get the upper hand. Now, throwing like a grenade, he does take a second, he pulls the pin, then he chucks it. That's fair. It's a lethal grenade. And I think that is, a nice addition to how it is, to how the game plays. It adds to the fast pace, Navy SEAL type, gameplay. Because let's just be real for a second. All of the Call of Duties, if you go through the campaigns and you play them, you have to be like some kind of like special soldier to like make it through all those situations. That being said, I really am curious to see how the campaign plays. I've loved all of the Modern Warfare campaigns, even 3, and I really just want to see what they do here, because there's been talks about Captain Price and this and that and the other. The game, just playing the multiplayer, it does have a certain feel to it. Like, it's very cinematic as you're playing it, and I think that's just because of the animations, the visuals, and the sounds. Just, they're really good, and it kind of gives you that feel of, wow, this is some crazy shit going down. Even when like the match starts and there's an animation of like you either zip lining down on a or fast roping down from a helicopter, or being inserted via truck, whatever the case. It's a really, really nice aesthetic to add to Call of Duty that just hasn't really been done. Just the little things that make it a little bit better. It's like it gives you more of an idea of that, hey, you're being inserted into here for this reason or whatever, instead of, okay, Crucible deathmatch, go. So it's a really, really nice touch, and even though it's simple and easily could be overlooked, and I'm sure after you play the game enough you're just like, whatever, but definitely the first couple times I was like, oh shit, what is this? I thought that it was like a special game mode. I was like, oh, it's just team deathmatch. But if I had to give the game a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 or a 7. And I think most of what's actually holding it back for me is stuff that I would hope gets worked out in the beta process. And I gotta say, I definitely don't hate the game. I can almost guarantee I'm gonna buy it. I'll probably give it a week or so after its release, maybe 2, and just kind of hear what's going on with gameplay and whatnot, because to be fair, I'm not rich just like anybody else, and I don't want to spend $60 on a game that I'm not happy with. And we've all had our letdowns. No Man's Sky. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it at that. Tell me what you guys think about this. I'd love to have a conversation either via the comments, messages, or somewhere else. If you are in a Discord channel with me, definitely come take a look and we can talk about it. I really don't mind at all. Just let me know what you guys think about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and tell me what you want to see, because I definitely want to see a whole bunch of improvements, and like I was saying, the campaign. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and I'd love to talk to you guys with it. Love to talk to you guys about it. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here because it is 3:45 in the morning for me. So with that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Have a good night.